Let's get straight to the point. How many Godzillas are there in the Monsterverse? You might think this is a crazy question. Of course it's just one, the one and only G-Man. But you would be wrong, as there have been quite a few others, although dead as of the present times. Remember, Godzilla is just a member of a Titan superspecies, the last living specimen. So who are all the members of the Godzilla species that we know of? Firstly, yeah, of course, we have Godzilla, the current king of the monsters. He was the one that first appeared in Awakening, well, chronologically, and then disappeared and came up back in 2014, defeated the MUTOs, defeated MUTO Prime, evolved into the 2019 version during the timeline of the Legacy of Monsters, and continued to be in that current form till the present times. He fought with Kong and Mega Gojira in GVK, and will be fighting Shimu and Scar King in GXK. Interestingly, Greg Keyes termed Godzilla as still being an adolescent before the Titan War, defeated by the rival Kong in the Hollow Earth, which means the 2019 form could be his adult stage, a young adult. So the second Godzilla seen in the Monsterverse appeared in the comics Godzilla Aftershock, and he is Dagon. Dagon has the 2014 version body and was defeated by the MUTO Prime in battle in 1100 BC in Japan. He did not die in the fight though. He was killed later by the growing MUTO spores deep inside his body. He later succumbed to the parasitic infestation in the Philippines years later. He was the same dead Godzilla that was seen in Godzilla 2014, where the male MUTO spore emerged from and headed to Japan. Dagon was worshipped in the ancient times by the Phoenicians, and when he was discovered by Monarch, they gave him the title Species 5416 Adam. The third Godzilla that we know of was also seen as a dead body in Godzilla Aftershock. That was discovered by Emma Russell and the Monarch team deep in the frozen Russian heartland. He is the Siberian Specimen. This Godzilla, like Dagon, was also defeated and impregnated with spores by the MUTO Prime, and in the same way as Dagon, it died due to the spores inside its body, feeding off of his radiation-rich blood and draining his life force in a gradual and painful manner. Not much is known about the time period of its death, but it was stated to be from a different epoch, which would mean, in geological times, hundreds of thousands of years prior to Dagon, therefore an older specimen. Then next we have the Mega Gojira. This is the one that was seen in GVK as a dead specimen in the throne room of the Kongs, as a skull. In terms of general appearance, the only notable remains of it is a skull, which is significantly larger than Godzilla's head. It has sharp teeth, with two large prominent upper canine teeth resembling those of saber-toothed cats, and relatively large front-facing optical cavities, which means he might have been an evolved version. In the film novelization, the creature is implied to be the remains of Titanus Gojira based on its physical resemblance. This is contradicted by the movie, however, as the creature's skull is noticeably more mammalian than reptilian, possessing elongated canines, but as far as the novelization is concerned, it is a Gojira specimen, an individual. Next we have the Peran Godzilla. Yeah, some of you might think, no, that's Godzilla, the current one, but let's take a step back and think critically, shall we? Greg Keyes stated that Godzilla was an adolescent in the times of the Titan War, which means that he couldn't have been the same large specimen, an adult, 250 million years back. I for one think that the enmity between Godzilla and the Shinomura species was instinct-based and not a personal rivalry. But one thing is for sure though, if the Peran Godzilla, the ancient one, was a different individual, then it shows that their Titan species had little to no evolutionary jumps. They were perfect, being the same size and shape as always. Then yes, lastly we have the Zilla Halawa. Wait a minute, isn't this Godzilla for sure? Well, yes and no. Zilla Halawa doesn't mean the specific Godzilla. It translates from Ewi to English as the Great Enemy, which could have been either Godzilla or his entire species during the Hollow Earth Titan War. This is evident by the cave painting seen in GVK art book showcasing two Godzilla specimens, and in other sources they are called his ancestors. That means that these two Titanus Gojira specimens were both Zilla Halawa. Yeah, they could also be just Dagon and Godzilla, or either one of them with another older specimen. So this brings us to the conclusion. In the Monsterverse we have one living Godzilla, the current king of the monsters, and 4 dead ones, and probably 2 more that were active in the Titan War, which means that this is the first time ever in Earth's history that Godzilla is completely alone. So if you like this video, then watch this one as well, and if you're more interested in other movie monsters and content, then check out our channel as well. We might just have things that you haven't seen or heard before. Like, subscribe, and we'll see you in the next one. Take care, fam.